Rachel and Tom. Brothers and sisters, Aju, Biso, Adeoye, and Rosa. Sons-in-law, Eustace and Kenneth. Nieces and nephews, Horatio and Alfred Nelson Williams, Ifa Acha Davis, and Mrs. Lucinda Williams and Florence Freeman. 30 grandchildren include Amina George, Aruna Jatu Melrose, Kenneth Jr., Eustacia, Ali, Horatia, Jane, Leonard, Emmanuel, Godfrey, Yatunde, and Massa. 23 great-grandchildren include Mariam, Aminata, Kenticia, Anelka, Zainab, Janet, Comfort, Yatunde, Abu George, and Joshua. Other relatives include Nelson Williams, Acha Davis, Benjamin King Davis, William Taylor, Brian Nelson Williams, Lloyd King, Arthur King, Randall Bindi, Nelson Streeter, Diana Clark and family, the Decker family from Waterloo, the Jones and Johnston King families. In-law, Mrs. Theodora Davis. Close friends, Mrs. Rachel Norman, neighbors of 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, and 20 John Street. Godfrey, Anita, Angela, Mohammed, Moses, Ernestine, Silva, Olabisi, Jesse, Comfort Jones of Charles Street, and Maria Makamara. May her soul rest in perfect peace. The death is reported of our dearly beloved mother, sister, and friend, Madam Rosalind Bangura, a member of the Free Gospel Church Goderich, which took place on the 13th of May. She survives by children Rita Hawana Bangura, Joseph Tamba Tefe, and Rubese Bangura. Grandchildren Ahmed Amadou Said Sese and Rita Sento Kuruma. Several brothers and sisters at home and abroad. Close relatives and friends. Pastor in charge, Reverend Dr. JTW and Mrs. Alice Kamanda, residents of Impact Hastings. Laying out is at the Free Gospel Church Goderich on Sunday the 12th of May, followed by funeral service at the Free Gospel Church at 1 p.m., burial at the Adonkia Cemetery. Sympathizers may call on mobile numbers 088 446 360 or 076 605 822. May her soul rest in perfect peace. The death is reported of Mrs. Mbalu Musa of 6 Bowling Street, King Tom. She died on Saturday the 6th of May at the AD Cole Hospital, Abbott Street in Freetown. She is survived by her husband, Mr. Ernest Tommy Musa, CEO of Psych Rangers Football Foundation. Sons and daughters, Christian, Christopher, Christine, and Christina. Adopted sons and daughters, Alaji Kanji, Patrick Musa, Adamse, Naomi, Mrs. Pipi Kooma, and Mrs. Adeline Whitfield, all of Battle Street, Freetown. In-laws, Mr. Joseph Musa, Cyril, Cecilia, Solomon, Charles, and Janet, all in the USA. Daisy, Kadi, and Hannah Musa in Freetown. Several sisters, brothers, nephews, several other relatives and close friends. There will be a vigil from Mrs. Mbalu Musa on Wednesday the 17th of May from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 6 Bowling Street, King Tom. Laying out is at the New Creation Solution International Ministry, Congo Town on Thursday the 18th of May from 12:15 p.m. and funeral service is at the church at 2 p.m. Burial at the Ascension Town Cemetery. Sympathizers may call at 6 Bowling Street, King Tom, or call on 077 761 333. The family announces the home call of Mr. Sylvanus James of 73 Soldier Street, which took place on Tuesday the 9th of May. He is survived by his son Victor James. Brothers and sisters: Brenda Ford James, Mrs. Amila Femi Cole, Mr. Samuel George, Princess and Christopher Williams. In-laws: Mrs. Christiana Bimbola Redwood Sawyer, Mrs. Victoria George, Mrs. Cremelda Cole, Mr. Jonathan Femi Cole, Mr. Donald George, Mrs. Julia Redwood Sawyer, and Mrs. Tamara Rena, Aunt Miss Evelyn Ismon. Several nephews, nieces, cousins, close friends, and other relatives. The body will be laid out at his residence, 73 Soldier Street, from 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sunday the 21st of May. Funeral service will take place at the Church of Christ, Priscilla Street, at 2:30 p.m. Burial at the Ascension Town Cemetery. The death is announced of Reverend Frances Ainaboyo Nigre, age 79, which took place at the Western Clinic, Edward Street, on Sunday the 2nd of April. She is survived by brothers William Bob Gray and Vidal Jide Bob Gray, sisters Aja Mariama Nomulamin, Mrs. Christy Jami Masakoy, and Mrs. Philippa Onike Mbawa. Children: Pastor Doris Toure, Mrs. Joya Alabatoka, Cherino Jalo in the UK, Benjamin Kala and Francis May. Nephews: Mahmoud Toure, Abu Lamin in Australia, Alhaji Hassani Lamin, Jibril Adin, Adonis Bob Gray, Harold Bob Gray, Royston Wright, Ian Bawa, Patrick Anthony, Ola Alabi, David Bob Gray in the UK, and Joseph Vidal Bob Gray. Mrs. Aja Titi Kamara, Aja Zainab Jallo, Mrs. Olaima Tufale, Miss Laura Davis, Miss Claudia Bob Gray, Miss Omotola Bob Gray, Miss Millicent Masakoy, Mrs. Wildora Sako, Mrs. Vidalet Farmer, Miss Leonora Ibi Macaulay, Mrs. Frances Kamara, and Miss Aminata Cole. Cousins: Mr. Samuel Rimisa Crowder in the USA, Mr. Ose Crowder, and Mrs. Janet Modu Cole. Aunt Madam Elizabeth Ose Smith in the UK. In-laws: Theodora Bob Gray and Hawa Bob Gray. Several other relatives and close friends. There will be a vigil on Saturday the 20th of May at Jesus Lord Ministry, Tower Hill, from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. The body will be laid out at the Columbia Davis Funeral Home off Circular Road on Sunday the 21st of May from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and at Jesus Lord Ministry, Tower Hill, from 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. followed by funeral service at Jesus Lord Ministry, Tower Hill at 2 p.m. Burial at the Ascension Town Cemetery. There will be a repast at the Flaming Evangelical Ministry, Syke Street. May her soul rest in perfect peace. Funeral and communion service for Mrs. Rebecca Tim Musa, commonly known as Aina, of 12 Old Road, Waterloo, formerly of Kisi Bypass Road, Bangastro, aged 81, will take place on Friday the 19th of May at St. Martin's Parish, Blackhall Road at 1 p.m. Burial at the Racecourse Cemetery. The body will be laid out at the church hall at 11 a.m. She is survived by her children, Ella Taylor Nimusa in the UK and Elizabeth Samuels of the Ministry of Finance, 8 grand and 9 great-grandchildren at home and abroad. Sisters Mary Scott and Victoria Brown. Brothers James and Candy Scott, Aunt Mrs. Josephine Islander, brother-in-law Alaji MYB Sanusi Macaulay, several nieces, nephews, cousins, and the rest of the family, all at home and abroad. The Musa family of Freetown and Matugujong, the Thomas, Cole, Lukanzi, and Scott families, and friends include the CW of St. Martin's Church and others at home and abroad. Marks the first anniversary of the death of Mr. Alimami B. Bangura, former staff at the Immigration Department in Freetown. A memorial mass be held on Sunday the 21st of May at the New Apostolic Church in Nimikoro, Kono District at 10 a.m. Mr. Bangura, only the heart that loves, not the sorrow of parting. We love you, but God loves you best. Continue to rest in perfect peace. Quickly passed. Thank you for your endless love that helps me through each day. And thank you for the memories that never fade away. You are the man I loved, and I was proud to be your wife. And every day in a small way, I celebrate your life. And thought it's sad to think about the way things were before. When we are united, it will be forevermore. From your wife, Mrs. Rokia to Sunday, children, and the family.
The 15th of May 2023 marks the first death anniversary of Mr. Samuel Camilio Bangura, formerly of the Cabinet Secretariat. We miss you, Daddy. Your life was a blessing. Your memory was a treasure. We love you, but Jesus loves you more. May light perpetual shine upon you till we meet again. Sadly missed by your wife and children, Samuel Camilio Bangura and Camelia Yenke Bangura. Continue to rest in perfect peace.
I'm so confused. Tell me what's happened. So many voices in my head, but he told me that this day will come. Tell me, have I done enough?
The death took place on Friday the 12th of May of Mr. Ibrahim Fofana, commonly known as Yellow Man, of 31 Patin State. He has already been buried. He is survived by his wife, Mrs. Bello Fofana, children, Mrs. Safi Daga and Maria Masela, brothers, Mr. Usman Fofana, Fode, Kausu, and Nabiyu Fofana, Alaji, Bangali, Mohammed, and Sila Conte, Ekundayo, John, and Abu Sulaiman, sisters, Aja, Briti, and Adama John, Masire, Jayat, and Brintia Fofana, Gloria and Fatata Conte, Aisata Fofana, and others. Relatives, the Fofana, Sulaiman Conte, John, Daga, and several others at home and abroad. Sympathizers may call at 31 Patin Street or call on mobile numbers 078-358-926, 079-769-239, or 077-543-435.
But I know life goes on, they will leave me. Only this is dust and silence surrounds me. These tears are falling down, but they're not.
Death is reported of Mrs. Rachel Ayo Taylor Dumbuya, also known as Auntie Ayo. She died at the Connaught Hospital on Friday, the 12th of May, aged 52. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at 10 off College Road, Gloucester, or call on 079 178 337 or 033 757 424. The death took place on Saturday, the 13th of May, of Mrs. Pamela Queenie Maria Goldsain, fondly called Auntie Pamela of 19 Peter Lane, off Campbell Street, and former employee of Sierra Leone, age 58. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at 19 Peter Lane, off Campbell Street, or call on 077 842 719 or 079 099 609. The death took place on Saturday, the 13th of May, of Madam Isabella Winifred McFoy of 4 Oldfield Street, Freetown, age 63. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at 4 Oldfield Street, Freetown, or call on 078 083 650 or 099 048 980. The Board of Governors, management, staff, parents, and pupils announced the death of Mr. Jonathan Victor Ibidayo Lee, fondly called Uncle Dio, founder and proprietor of the Luminous Infant and Preparatory School at 6B Cannon Street, Freetown, and of 39 Campbell Street. He died on Friday, the 12th of May, aged 85. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at 39 Campbell Street or call on 076 658 180, 077 603 635 or 078 543 462. The death took place on the 12th of May at 7 Ban Lane, Freetown, of Mrs. Janet Lillian King. She was 97 years old. She is survived by children Beatrice Bura in Manchester, England, Edward Wood and Emmanuel King in the USA, Emilia Ballard, Lucilia Soiree in Freetown, and Alice. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call on the following numbers: 077 706 560, 076 721 826 or 077 453 137. May her soul rest in peace. The death took place on Monday, the 10th of April in Bronx, New York, USA, of Madame Fawela Drusilla Hardin, age 66. She is survived by her brothers and sisters, Mr. Kosi Sawyer, Mr. James Hardin, Mr. Sylvanus Hardin, Mr. James Peters, Mr. Oladipo Langley, and Mrs. Mayan Dadson. Several relatives and friends include the Harding family of Hastings, the Cole and Sawyer family of Kissy, the Nylander family, Mrs. Tabitha Ture, Cecilia Scott, Mary Tarawale and Josie Cocker and Bayou at home and abroad. The board will be laid out on Friday the 19th of May at the Boston Community Center, Kissy, from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Funeral service will be held at St. Patrick's Church, Kissy at 2:30 p.m. Burial at the Kissy Village Cemetery. Sympathizers may call at Bangura Avenue by American Embassy fence or call on 076 605 299. A memorial service for Mrs. Jenny Elizabeth Meyer, who passed away on the 20th of May, and Mr. William Joseph, who passed away on the 5th of October 2018, will be held on Sunday the 21st of May at the UBC Church, Sierra Street, Kenema, at the time we needed them most. May lights perpetual continue to shine upon them. Sadly missed by children, Sammy, Zainab Milton, Mrs. Lucinda Jaffa, Miss Kadiatu Meyer and James Meyer, several grand and great-grandchildren, and many family members at home and abroad. May their gentle souls continue to rest in perfect peace. All relatives, friends, and well-wishers are cordially invited.
They don't hear me, but I know life goes on. They will leave me, only this dust.
The death took place on Friday the 12th of May of Haja Marie Kamara of 86 Jallo Terrace, Old Road, Wellington, aged 86. She is survived by her mate, Nande Khadija Kamara. Children, Posek Bori Kamara, Adama and Abubakar in the UK, Sheku, Marie Poto, Ibrahim, Salimatu, Ali, Idrissa and Khadija Kamara, several grand and great-grandchildren at home and abroad, several other relatives and friends. She has already been buried. Sympathizers may call at 86 Jallo Terrace, Old Road, Wellington, Freetown, or call on 077 890 032 057 364 or 077 646 069.
I'm so confused in my head, but he told me that this day will come. Tell me, have I done enough? You're to be. Now my book's gone and closed.
The death is announced of Mrs. Adama Samura, formerly of 87B Leicester Road, which took place at Mongo Village, Bombali District. She has already been buried. She was survived by her husband, Mr. Brahma Santigi Samura, former Fire Force officer, commonly called, and Aisata Samura, all in Freetown. Sisters Fatu Kamara, all in Freetown. Several aunties, uncles, and friends at home and abroad, in Freetown. May our soul rest in perfect peace.
Now I'm calling up, they don't hear me, but I know life goes on. They will leave me, only this dust and silence surrounds me.
The Walcott-Taylor and Williams families announces the passing of Mr. Ekumi Josephus Walcott-Taylor, formerly of Pratt Lane, which took place on Tuesday the 2nd May in Melbourne, Australia, aged 63. He is survived by his wife, Virginia. Children, Colin and Marguerite Walcott-Taylor. Grandchild, Eutychus Walcott-Taylor. Brothers and sisters, Marjorie Aboko Cole, Marian Walcott-Taylor, Caprica Garrick, Quinette Arden, Rene Walcott-Taylor, Clorinda Morgan, Blaine Walcott-Taylor. Cousins, Dr. Dr. Roland and Ayobok, Winifred Atiba Davis, Margaret Stresser King, Teddy and Desmond Walcott Taylor, Nina, Eileen, Dennis and Nathaniel Steter, Efwa and Odette, Ruben, Patricia and Ruel Andrews. Funeral and communion service is at the Encompass Church, Melbourne, Australia on Thursday, the 18th of May 2023. The memorial service will be held at the Ebenezer Methodist Church, Shakilo Road on Friday, the 19th May 2023 at 223-805 or 076-637-476.
Those we love don't go away, they walk beside us every day, unseen, unheard, but always there. Still loved, still missed, but still very there. 14th May 2023 marks the 6th death anniversary of our beloved Emmerich Valicius Thomas. Sadly missed by your mother, Auntie Gifty, aunts, Auntie Malake and Auntie Eva, son Isaac, sister Joy, Match Edward, and the Congo Market community. Sleep on and take your rest.
Announced of Mr. Philip Emmanuel Ose Lajaku Williams of 12 Queen Street, Freetown. He died on Friday the 5th of May, age 62. He is survived by his children, Marian Lajaku Williams, Bankole and Elizabeth. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at 12 Queen Street, Freetown, or call on 077 730 494. 030-750679 or 072-236-123. With gratitude to God for a life well spent, the family at home and abroad announces the home call of their beloved husband, father and grandfather, Mr. Jonathan Ibidayo Lee, commonly known as Uncle Dio. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at 39 Campbell Street. The death is reported of Mrs. Victoria Maloma Walters. She died on the 8th of May, age 73. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at 52 Ban Lane, Collegiate off Wilkinson Road, or 032-735-847. May her soul rest in perfect peace. The deaths announced of Mrs. Fatma Sise, formerly of 9 Johannes Street, Njai Town, Bo, and 60 Palmer Street, Wellington. She died on the 1st of May, age 73. She is survived by her father, Pasama Kagbo. Children, Mrs. Adama Musa, Mrs. Awal Sise, Juma Sise, Mr. Jeremiah Sise, Christiana Sise, Salimatu Sise, Mrs. Asatu Koruma, Mrs. Juliana Beckley and Mr. Jonas Sise. 24 grand and 9 great-grandchildren, brother and sisters, Umaru Fini Kamara, Makale Dumbuya, Safi Bangura, Salimatu Kagbo, Kati Momo and Tene Kagbo. In-laws, Mr. Ali Sise, Pastor Andrew Sise, Mr. Sondifo Musa Kamara, Mr. Richard D. Sise, Mr. George Beckley and Mr. Mohammed Escoma. Close friends, Elder Taiwo and Elder Pose. Pastors, elders, and members of the National Pentecostal Church, Bo Branch. Several neighbors, other relatives, and close friends. Funeral service will be held on Friday, the 19th of May, at the National Pentecostal Church, Bo, and burial will take place at the CKC Cemetery in Bo. Sympathizers may call at 60 Palmer Street, Wellington, and 9 Joanny Street, Jai Town, Bo. Buses will be available at a return fare of 180 leones. For more information, please call on 077 705 965, 076 997 270, or 088 250 020. With gratitude to God for a life well spent, funeral and communion service for Mrs. Janet Elizabeth Iyagba Nelson Williams, whose glorious home call took place at her residence, 16 John Street, on the 21st of April, will be held on Friday, the 19th of May, at the Buxton Memorial Methodist Church, Charles Street, at 2:30 p.m. Burial at the Kingdom Cemetery. The body will be laid out at her residence, 16 John Street, from 10 a.m. to 12 midday. A vigil will be held on Thursday, the 18th of May, at Buxton Methodist Church at 7 p.m.
We regret to announce the death of Mrs. Fatmata Conte Ne Kamara, which took place on the 12th of May 2023. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. For more information, contact 088 621 448 or 077 597 453. May her gentle soul rest in perfect peace.
The death announced of a life well spent, Mr. Simeon Ayodele Showers of 3. He is survived by his wife, Mrs. Belmontina Dio Showers. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call on 076 776 361, 099 888 192, or 078 810 050. Funeral and communion service for Madam Pelujo Edwina Williams of 43 Houghton Street and formerly of 16 Cole Street will be held at St. John the Evangelist Church, Brookfields, on Tuesday the 16th of May at 2:30 p.m. and burial at the Kingdom Cemetery. The body will be laid out at a residence, 43 Houghton Street, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. A vigil will be held on Monday the 15th of May at 43 Houghton Street at 7 p.m. Madam Pelujo Edwina Williams was former staff of the National Electoral Commission and Sierra Leone Immigration. She died at the age of 70 years. She will be sadly missed by children Doreen George of Sierra and Gerald Beckley in Liberia, grandchildren Darlington and Joshua George, and Edwina and Edwin Beckley, sisters Delphine of the PCMH and Michelle of EcoBank, several uncles and aunts, brothers, cousins, and other relatives at home and abroad. May her soul rest in peace. As Botorian Sales in America and Mrs. Esther Sawyer. Brothers-in-law, Mr. and Mrs. Rudolph Jones in America, Bishop and Mrs. Emil Jones, Mr. and Mrs. Ransford Clements in London. Sisters-in-law, Christiana Moore, Claudette Anderson, Claudia Jones of Wyek, Mr. and Mrs. Milford Clements in London. Several cousins, sisters and nephews, several other relatives and close friends, Mr. Michael McCarthy, the Sawyer family, Mr. Amadou Kagbo, friends of Ogulin 1. His body will be laid out at his residence on Tuesday, the 16th of May at 12 noon, followed by a funeral service at the Ebenezer West African Methodist Church, Brookfields, at 2:30 p.m. Burial at the Ascension Town Cemetery. May his soul rest in peace. In memory of Elizabeth Satasenge, you left us at a time we needed you most. Your vacuum is hard to fill. Only the hearts that love know the sorrow of parting. A memorial service to mark the first anniversary of the death of Elizabeth Satasenge will take place on
I'm so confused. Tell me what's happened. So many voices in my head, but he told me that this day will come. Tell me, have I done enough? You're to be.
The Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, SLAJ, announces the death of their beloved colleague Alim Jallo, which took place at Mile 91, Tonkolele District, on Tuesday, the 9th of May. Until his death, Mr. Jallo was the editor of the Times Sierra Leone newspaper. SLAJ extends its sincere condolences to the bereaved family, relatives, friends, and the entire media fraternity. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. May the Lord have mercy.
But it's come too soon for that day. I'm so scared. I'm gonna get oh, Allah, give me.
The 40th day ceremony for Alhaji Banda, formerly of the Sierra Leone Ports Authority, who died on Saturday, the 11th of March 2023, will take place on the 21st of May at Sama Lane. Sadly missed by his wife, Rashida Umu Banda, children Mikaelu Banda, Zainab Banda, and Abdulrahman Banda, grandchildren, brothers and sisters, Matilda Banda in the USA, Masak Banda, Hawa Banda, Bese Banda 1 and 2, Gina Banda of the Sierra Leone Local Content Agency, Sao Banda, Kenawova Sila, Lahai Sila in the USA, Saleh Adud, Mustafa Fufana, Hoki Banda. Close friends, the Rogers Lukule family of Samaling, the Salia family, and the Koma family of Bandako. Sympathizers may call on 088-620-894 USA and Philomena in the UK. Nephews Emmanuel and Mohammed in the USA. Nieces Adiato and Emibari in the USA. AC Theodora and Gaston in the UK. Dr. Claudette Amozu, Lillian and Bintu. Other relatives include the Koroma, Roberts and Amuzu families of Takoradi Corner, the Pratt family in the USA, the Mansare family, Miss Florence McFoy, the Conte family, and friends and relatives at home and abroad. They'll be laying out at St. Edward's Parish, King Tom, on Tuesday the 16th of May at 11:30 a.m., followed by a funeral and communion service at St. Edward's Parish Church, King Tom at 1 p.m., burial at the Ascension Town Cemetery. Sympathizers may call on 032-851-991 or 078-864-180. May her soul rest in perfect. To the glory of God for a life well spent, the family at home and abroad announces the home call of the dearly beloved mother, grand and great grandmother, Mami Kumba Koroma, commonly known as Okumbe of 5A Canton Street, Peacock Farm, Wellington, who died on the 5th of May, aged 88. Funeral service will take place on Tuesday, the 16th of May, at the National Pentecostal Church, Wellington, at 1:30 p.m. Burial at the Palmer Street Cemetery, Wellington. They'll be laid out at a residence, 5 Canton Street, Wellington. She is survived by children David Wise Koroma, Mr. James Ture of Marampa Mines, Mr. Sheku Koroma, Taylor Bangura, Kadiatu Navo, Tamba Mboya Koroma of Tonkolili District Council, and Inspector David Koroma. 25 grand and 8 great grandchildren, several relatives and friends at home and abroad.
one and for thee. Salon, for sex and peace and one more.
Hi guys, my name is Kahitire. I'm 17 years old. I'm from the Himba tribe. Let me show you around my village. So guys, we'll be starting from the main hut. This is Zonene. This is actually known as the main house. It's the house that belonged to the first wife. So guys, let's enter on in. This is the red oak. We used to smear the red oak on our body just to protect us from the sunlight. And also it's a cultural color of our Himba people. Yeah, this is how we smear the red oak. Actually, we just used to get it from mountains, from rocks. We used to go dig rocks. Rocks are red in color. Then they used to come pound it here at home. Then it'll be like this when it's fine like this. Butter is we get it from the cow, and then we used to apply it on the red oak to put on our skin so that it will be very stick to our skin. We used to apply red oak on your hair. Also for the bubbles, used to help with the growth of the natural hair. Also it's used to strengthen and tighten for the hairs to be strong, also in the hair for them to be standing as straight as they're like this. So that's why we used to apply red oak also. This is the crown for the woman. It's made up of the skin of the little lamb, or maybe from a skin of the small goat, and they used to shape it very well like this, for the woman to look beautiful. Only women from the age of 20 and above, that's where used to wear the crown. This is the fire point where we used to put fire, just to keep the house warm at night. The environment outside, it's very hot, and when we're inside the house now, it's a bit cool. Even it's very cool, made of wood. Actually, the structure of the house is made of wood, and also after all, they cover the house with thatch, and the thatch are not that heat attractive, so they provide a good ventilation of air inside the house. That's why the house is very cool like this. So we are going to the holy fire now. The holy fire is just to communicate with our ancestors. That's the main point or the main function of the holy fire. The headman of the home used to sit here, then he lights off, and he speak and communicate to our ancestors. The holy fire is situated between the entrance of the kraal and the entrance of the onene, which is actually the main house. This is our small houses where we used to store our maize meals and millet. After we harvest, we used to store them here. This is a cow dung made mixed of clay soil. Then we used to put it to cover it like this. Like now when we take it, it's just closed. It will be opened maybe by a grandmother or the elder of the homestead when kids are hungry. We are going to the kitchen right now. This is the maize meal where it's processed from factories there. That traditionally made. We eat this about 2 times in a day. So delicious, this is our food. We love it. Thank you very much for hanging out with me and learning about my culture. I hope you have enjoyed a lot and experiencing my culture. So see you next time. sharp shoot.
If you like that video, we've got more content like this, so make sure you subscribe.
To explore in Morocco is a country of vibrant colors, rich history, and an incredible culture. Today, I travel across the major cities of Morocco exploring what this North African country has to offer. I start in Casablanca, the city with the biggest functional mosque in Africa. Then I travel across the country to the city of Marrakesh to explore the famous Medina, which is home to some of the most exciting activities in Morocco. And finally, I take on the Atlas Mountains, where I attempt to climb all the way to the top of its snow-covered peaks to see its 7 waterfalls. My journey is going to take 7 days, and I try to challenge myself by keeping my whole trip under $1,000 cause I'm cheap like that. Now let's get started exploring one of the most visited places in Africa. Hey, you must come to Morocco.
In the series, the Moroccan miracle is still on.
Before we continue our exploration of Morocco, I would love to tell you guys about the sponsor of today's video, which is a game company called Raid Shadow Legends. As someone who is constantly on the road, working, traveling, and visiting countries like the one I currently am in, I usually don't have time to relax and have fun, but Raid Shadow Legends has been my form of entertainment and escape. You can be a casual player, or if you're somebody who is competitive like me, you can compete with players all across the world. One of the things I love about this game is the high-end graphics and how everything is so realistic. The medieval nature and some scenes in the game remind me of some historical parts of Marrakesh. My name is Garlic, by the way. This April, Raid is organizing a dragon egg hunt where you can win up to $20,000 in Amazon gift card just by participating in the game. After downloading this game with the link in the description, which I hope you do because it helps support this channel, copy your in-game player ID and then head on over to this website on the screen. This promo lasts from April 14th to May 15th. If you can find the hidden egg, you win. It's that simple. With all of this exciting stuff and more coming to Raid, I'm wondering why you haven't downloaded it yet. What are you still waiting for? Remember to hit the link in the description and I'll meet you on the battlefield. Thank you Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Now let's head back to Morocco. Morocco is the 5th biggest economy in Africa and the city has over 4 million people living in it.
Welcome to Morocco. When I first came here, I actually thought I was going to struggle, but the people are really nice. The weather is really nice. The food is good. The Moroccan startup ecosystem is starting to grow and develop, so there are a lot of opportunities here.
I landed in Casablanca, the major business district of Morocco, and the first hotel that was going to be my home was located alongside the port of Casablanca, which is one of the largest artificial ports in the world and the second largest port in North Africa.
Another landing of significance takes place at Casablanca as they arrive in Morocco.
Walking around the streets of Casablanca, you can already tell that this is the country's economic and business center, making it the most populous city in the Maghreb region, which consists of all the North African countries, well, except Egypt. As someone who spontaneously travels to places across the world, I was really fascinated by the architecture and level of development of Casablanca. Walking around, you can see a lot of the European and Arab influences, most of which happened because of its geographical location and closeness to Europe. I noticed many people here spoke French, which is one of the 3 major languages here.
If you know how to speak French, you would have an edge. I still don't speak French, but I've found ways that really cool.
In Morocco, we have 2 races. We have Arabs and the Berbers.
I would have never imagined Morocco to be a francophone country, and digging deeper I realized the reason why.
France and Morocco have a long and complex history.
So Morocco was formerly a French colony and only achieved its independence from France on March 2nd, 1956. Reading through Morocco's history made me realize how it has constantly been fighting to be in charge of its territories. Back then, Morocco faced external threats to its sovereignty, with Portugal seizing some territory and the Turkish Empire encroaching from the east. You see, because of Morocco's strategic location near the mouth of the Mediterranean and also bordering the Atlantic Ocean, many European countries wanted to own a piece of protectorate. Thankfully, the citizens of Morocco revolted against colonial rule and eventually regained its independence and reunified. One of the most important architectural marvels in Casablanca is the Hassan II Mosque. Have you ever seen a structure this big? This mosque is found hold 105,000 worshippers, 25,000 inside and the rest on the outside courtyard. Talking about numbers, I looked at my subscribers and it looks like 85% of you who watch this channel are not subscribed, and that makes me very sad. Please subscribe if you haven't already, as it helps the growth of this channel. Thank you. Now, Morocco used to hold the spot of the biggest mosque ever built in Africa until Algeria built its own mosque in 2019, beating Morocco's mosque. So going back to the mosque in Casablanca, the architecture is so remarkable as it's perched on the edge overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. It also has a laser at the peak that points north, which is usually the direction Muslims point when they want to pray. The walls are made of handcrafted marble and the roof is retractable. Morocco is a mostly Muslim country with 99% of its people practicing Islam. When chilling out here, there's this really awesome park. I love countries that really think about having public spaces, because people just left their house and came here to just come and chill and experience this space. They didn't have to pay any money. I didn't have to pay a single dollar. The next day, I headed to the Casablanca train station to hop on a train to the most visited city in all of Morocco, the city of Marrakesh.
Marrakesh, this fabulous town of the south, where life meanders on today as it did 1,000 years ago.
Currently inside the train now, squeezing our way everywhere is very tight in front. Most people who fly into Morocco usually spend the night in Casablanca and then head to Marrakesh the next day. The train ride took 2 hours 30 minutes and cost 15 euros or 150 dirhams. It's also one of the cheapest ways to move around Morocco. I would recommend you book ahead though and pay a little extra to stay in first class whenever you're traveling for a more comfortable experience.
Finally I arrived at Marrakesh after a very long train ride. Super tired, but excited.
Arriving in Marrakesh, I could see how it was very different. It's filled with so many tourists who come here every single day to experience the country. The city gives off a beautiful rustic vibe, which is noticeable from the reddish brown colors of all the buildings. Before we start our exploration of Morocco, we need to change some cash. The currency in Morocco is the Moroccan dirham. Usually here they always have all these snake charmers and a lot of activities happening. By the time we go inside, we're going to see some of all these activities happening and we're going to catch some of them on camera. Our first stop, which is the busiest place in all of Morocco, is the Medina. This is one of the biggest markets I've ever had to explore in my life, as you'll soon see. The Medina is the historic heart of Marrakesh and is the original walled settlement around which the rest of the city was built. Its set of old defensive walls surround and separate the old city from the new and has several gates which lead to different districts of the Medina. Guys, I'm currently in the center of the Medina, which is a place where so many activities are currently happening right now. There's so many people here, thousands and thousands of people. And this is why one of the major spots people come to if they're coming to Morocco. Thousands of people are constantly walking through the maze-like walls, and the Medina is always active with the activity of different souks, traders, and artisans trading their wares.
How much is it?
This one costs 6,000 US dollars.
Since this is the heart of the city, the activities here are boundless. From food to the drinks, you get to experience it all here.
Currently walking through the market now, looking for where I can see something to eat. So many stores on my left and on my right. What's this?
Lamb chops, barbecue, fish, soup, harira, vegetarian, couscous, drink for free.
Yeah, welcome, sit here. What's this? Action sauce.
This is the tagine.
This is the tagine?
Tagine with vegetables and the chicken.
There's a variety of things in front of me. Ow! It's hot.
Maybe native here and the pepper.
Yeah.
After, like couscous.
This is made from salt feta. I just came here and they gave me like a free drink. This is like a food shop. Yeah, this drink is actually really tasty.
The main character in the square is the music played by the many musicians and just at the center are the snake charmers who have perfected the art of handling venomous snakes.
One of the things I've been looking forward to seeing here are the guys that control snakes. They're snake charmers in Morocco, and it's popular in Marrakesh. Hey, how are you? I'm fine. All right. So how do you tell me about the snakes? How do you guys capture them?
From the desert, you know, hunting.
Hunting, yeah.
Hunting, desert. Cobra, vipers, viper with the horn.
Yeah, they hunt viper.
Yeah. Different kind of snakes.
You can take a picture with them, but for a prize.
So one of the coolest parts about being in Marrakesh is you can easily climb one of these rooftop restaurants that they have here and get to experience all we've seen from downstairs, but seeing it from upstairs this time. Check out where we are. The way is here filming, getting some shots. I think for me, one of the best parts about being up here is getting to watch the sunsets. So guys, we're just done experiencing the rooftop and now we're headed back to the hotel. What's your view of
this place is beautiful, like it's a lot of people, like it's mind-blowing. I don't think I've ever been to a market as busy as this.
Currently walking Morocco streets at night. And I'm vlogging with my camera to show you guys how safe it is here. And like I still see some people still even engaging in some touristy activities. Like this guy on this horse right here. Look at Marrakesh sign at night. This is what Marrakesh looks like at night. Lots of people, lots of activities, very, very busy and vibrant. One of the best ways to explore Marrakesh, if you want to see a lot of the nice stuff that are here, is by picking a hotel room that is in a central location. This is our room here. One of the best parts about it is that it has a rooftop. All this side is the Medina. This is the main central district. It's called Buelis. So you can see on my left and on my right, there are multiple highbrow restaurants. Like if you're coming with your babe, come here and come and chill. Marrakesh is not just only like the Medina part, there's also still people living here and businesses going on.
Inside the Medina are several architectural and historical masterpieces from different periods in history, one of which is the El Badi Palace, which was built in 1578.
Walking through the palace. Got this guy just taking a nap. That's another thing you should know about Morocco. Morocco has so many cats everywhere. This was constructed by the most famous ruler of the Saladin dynasty. He created this in the northeastern part of the Medina for privacy and security, and the whole purpose of this place was for lots of events that were happening here.
The El Badi Palace is decorated with materials imported from numerous countries ranging from Italy to Mali and was used for receptions and designed to showcase the Sultan's Ahmed and Mansour's wealth and power.
They still currently use it for events. I can see some people setting stuff up since they're having like a fashion show here. There's so much history within these walls.
The palace was neglected after his death in 1603 and eventually fell into ruin after the decline of the Saladin dynasty.
So this is another section and it also extends all the way there. It's really massive. Another cool thing I noticed about this palace is they have all these orange trees in the middle. So it looks like a courtyard. All the fruits are looking really succulent. Sadly, I can't pick anyone. Next up, we want to check out the tombs, the Saladin tombs.
On my way to see this, I almost got lost due to how confusing and intricate the maze-like walls of the Medina were.
We walked to a dead end, now we have to walk all the way back. made it. That's one of the tombs that was built by the emperor. You can see the architecture and the detailing. So much attention was paid to the detailing of all the arcs. So amazing. This complex is regarded by many art historians as the high point of Moroccan architecture in the Saadin period due to its luxurious decoration and careful interior design. Man, this place is really, really beautiful. I think one thing I love about Morocco is they are really serious about tourism. They really took care of all the things that they actually have, all the history. And this is one thing I always say whenever I travel to a lot of African countries. Many African countries don't really take care of their stories. They don't take care of their culture. They don't take care of their history. I think there are just few countries in Africa that currently do that. But I love the fact that Morocco is doing that, and this contributes to their tourism. Also, filming here is not so difficult. We've been filming all day. We've not had any problem. No police has come to meet us. That also helps and enhances content creation in those countries, which makes more people come there. Taking a walk through the Medina made me experience the narrow cobblestone streets. They are so narrow that they can mostly only be explored by foot, motorcycles and donkeys. Walking through the Riyadh tiny alleyways. This is how tiny the alleyways are. So my hand is touching the wall. I want to check out one of the Riyadhs here. This is probably the Riyadh we're going to spend the night at. They have this very unique architecture. One of the most popular architectural structures I came across when exploring the Medina in Marrakesh were the Riyadh. This is what a lot of the whole Moroccan architecture influence in it. So the Riyadhs are a type of traditional home that follows certain standards of design and are mostly found in the old Medina. A Riyadh in Arabic means a garden. It's usually divided into 4 parts and has a fountain or pool in the middle. The high floors have a bow courtyard is usually exposed. A Riyadh has a very secluded and intimate feeling, and for me it feels like a great place to go with your lover, wife or partner. The weather was currently really couldn't wait to finally climb this mountain. We've officially entered into the national park.
You like it?
I love it. More on that later. These are cowries, similar to the cowries we use in West Africa. Africa is just almost the same. Everywhere is the same thing. It's just different tribes and traditions, but we're all one at the end of the day.
Hello, brother.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
How much is your bread?
It's around for what?
I want to get 2 of this one. This is Morocco bread. It's just baked here. They have different types of bread. This is made from wheat. This is just plain. How are you?
I'm fine.
Nice to meet you.
How are you? Nice to meet you too. Where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria. One of my most exciting parts about exploring the Medina are the artisans you get to meet. Like this man we met who was making beautiful wooden chess pieces. Wow. You make all this yourself?
My father.
Your father?
Yes.
Oh wow. Oh, that's beautiful. The story lurking around every corner.
If you can open it, your present for you.
Really?
Take your choice here.
He said if I can open it, there's a present for me. Let me see. I can't find it.
Yeah, that's for key.
Oh wow. You open this and you push this to open it. Then the key is inside. This is the key. I put it back inside. So this is kind of like a secret box. Ooh, this is nice.
يا صديق في المنافي.
Behind me is one of the biggest and most famous mosques here. The mosque is called Kotubia. It's also one of the biggest tourist attractions here. You can see the mosque from almost everywhere in Marrakesh. After exploring the main city, which is Marrakesh, we're heading to the outskirts of the city to Atlas?
Inshallah, yes, of course.
The Atlas Mountains are a set of mountains that covers areas of Morocco, Algeria and Tunisia. It separates the Sahara Desert from the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. It has high mountains covered with caps of snow, which I was surprised to see because I never knew that snow fell in North Africa up until now.
The Berber people live here, and the first people come here in Morocco is Berber people.
The Berbers are an ethnic group indigenous to the Maghreb region of North Africa, where they live in scattered communities across parts of Morocco, Algeria and Libya. And even though my plan was to climb all the way to the top of the Atlas Mountain, I wanted to know more about the local way of life here.
You can see all the walls are made from mud. This is how the Berber people grind their wheat and seeds. They have this whole hydropowered system. It works with the power of the water, and it's the water that is turning this thing as you see here. All of this now is not controlled by electricity. Is this tagine?
Yeah, tagine with chicken.
It's tagine, it's the traditional food. It's kind of like similar to how we do it too, also with firewood, and then these clay pots here. Really nice. So as you're leaving the house, you put some contributions for the family inside this safe here.
I will take you to market, Berber market.
The market we're going to is a Monday market, and it's a market that only opens today.
To get here though, we had to cross one of the sketchiest bridges ever.
Here there's a big river that we have to cross. I don't know how we're going to do this. Yeah. Finally crossed. There's a lot of traffic on the road. They're selling so many things here. We came here to this local market to buy some food stuff that we're taking to go and meet the Berber people so that they can cook the tagine for us. One of the things I love doing whenever I travel to a new country is experiencing the local life. Tomato, yeah. Bought some vegetables. Now we're going to where we're going to get lamb so that we can add it to make the food that we're trying to make. It's the outside of goat everywhere. In Nigeria, we call it Isiewu.
Fresh lamb, right? Nice. Nigeria.
Abuja?
Yeah, Abuja.
Thank you.
Finally, we made it to the last village called Seti Fatima at the base of the Atlas Mountains.
So guys, we found this really awesome spot here. As you can see, it looks so beautiful. We can see the Alps behind us. Those are the Atlas Mountains. And then there's this valley. There's a lot of tourists just sitting beside the water.
I could feel the change in temperatures as the melting ice from the mountain peaks flowed past us in a river that divided the small village into two. During winter, this river stops flowing and even gets frozen in some parts.
We're down there before, where the river is. We'll walk all the way up here. I'm here with Mohammed, and we are going to be preparing the food we just bought at the market. These are peas. We bring out the seeds. Just right in front of me. Snow in Africa, snow in Morocco. Ooh, we have the sauce. Salt, black pepper, this is curry. These traditional pots they used to make tagine, and now it's mixing in the sauce. How many minutes do you leave it to cook?
1 hour and a half.
1.5 hours.
Yes, maximum 2 hours.
So now we put a cover on the top and leave it to simmer for the next 2 hours.
While this was ongoing, we began our climb to see the 7 waterfalls of the incredible Atlas Mountain.
It's not easy to walk directly
and come back
to have
rest.
a break.
This water is clean enough that you can drink it because it's all coming from the top of the Atlas Mountain. See how clear it is. As you're walking up the mountain, you pass through all the shops where they sell different types of ornaments and stuff. If you want, we don't want, so we'll keep going. We've officially entered into the national park. So guys, finally we got to the first big waterfall. There's still 5 more if we walk all the way up. The waterfall is really big, and it's something you should see if you're coming to Morocco for the first time. I'm actually really tired right now, very tired. But you know, we never give up on this channel, we keep going. We finally made it to the top of the waterfall. Check out the view. All the ice that is melting. You can see some people up there. Those ones are daredevils. But I ain't about to do that. I just want to sit down and chill here. After a very long and eventful climb, I have this freshly squeezed orange juice from the mountains of Marrakesh to cool me down.
7 years old was started to go with.
From here you can see all the villages. There's one village here and there's another village down there. I think that's the village we're heading back to. Finally back on the road, and now let's go and eat. Woo. Okay, this is here. So guys, this is our tagine. It has been cooking. Whoa! Beautiful.
You like it?
I love it. Oh, is it ready?
About half an hour.
Half an hour. Now guys, we have our tagine right in front of us. Let me go pull it. Ready? Let's go! Let's go! Woo! So they have this communal style of eating. After cooking, this is kind of like we're eating direct from. It was cooked for 2 hours. Wow! I love it. Visiting Morocco has been at the top of my wish list for so long, and finally traveling across the beautiful country to explore it gave me a better experience than I would have ever imagined. I never really expected to leave feeling so mind blown, and I was sure I hadn't even scratched the surface. This country is so big that you need probably 2 to 3 months or more to really experience it, because all parts have something to offer, and I'm definitely coming back for more. I love the culture, the people, and the calm lifestyle, especially in Marrakesh. One of the best things about Morocco for me is also the low cost of living, which makes it easy for many people across the globe to explore it without breaking the bank. I traveled across Morocco in 7 days and spent less than $1,000, which is usually less than what I would have spent in most locations I traveled to across the world. One of the reasons I love traveling isn't just the location, but the amazing people you get to meet along the way, and I did meet many in Morocco, like Mohammed, who was really helpful in taking us up the mountain, to the wooden sculptor who was very friendly and gave me a gift even though we're just meeting for the very first time. Morocco was a pleasant experience, and these memories will stay with me forever. So will I recommend Morocco? 100%. It's a cocktail of amazing activities and experiences that I believe everyone in the world should try out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
A place cannot produce poems. It can only not prevent them. And Freetown is good at that, for Freetown has its own sudden elegances. People are slow to leave it, quick to return. And there are others who come for a year or two and stay for a lifetime, sensing that they've found a city that is in the world, yet sufficiently on the edge of it to have a different resonance. Let me tell you something about this city. All of us, we're all just passing through, and we've all been here forever. Those who came, those who stayed, those who never returned. But we've always been here. We've always listened, because there is a different resonance here. It comes from the river, and the land, and the sky.
It's our place, all of us.
This city belongs to everyone.
And you know when it's your time.
And it's our time.
Listen, we are Freetown.
The golden rules of Freetown.
Don't pretend you're something that you're not.
Don't shout about it. Get on with it.
We are
Freetown. I'm from China and Freetown.
I'm from the UK and Freetown.
I am from Nigeria and Freetown.
I am from home and Freetown.
This city belongs to everyone.
The fishermen,
The taxi driver,
The barber,
the drummers, the dancers.
all of us, everybody. We are Freetown.
The past is ours.
The future is ours. It's our time again.
and this city belongs to everyone.
The playwright,
The greengrocer,
The teacher,
the dog.
This space is ours.
this light is ours.
The beaches are ours.
the rivers now we own.
The roads are ours.
The bridges now we own.
We are Freetown.
We've got the mightiest river.
And the biggest sky.
And there's a resonance again.
Freetown.
We are proud of this place.
We love this city.
And we want you to love it too.
We are proud.
Say yes to Freetown. Say yes to freedom.
You're watching the SLBC on Channel 31, the authentic voice of Sierra Leone.
Well, now we are. Where we get we gold, where we get we diamond, where we get we iron or white for where we where we get we rutile, where we get we bauxite. Fish in our water plenty, white for well we I say salon man, and new man and some meat. Let's do we sweet salon for well, now we are. Say salon man and woman as a people. Waiting do we sweet salon for well now we are. If petrol day, lights day na the whole country. Motoka they won't open no white for well but we if parents get good pay, picking go school. If teacher get good pay, all picking they go land. I say salon man and woman as a people. Waiting do we sweet salon for well now we are. I say salon man and woman as a me. Waiting do we sweet salon for well now we are. Waiting do we sweet salon for well. Salon for well.
Cannot produce poems. It can only not prevent them. And Freetown is good at that, for Freetown has its own sudden elegances. People are slow to leave it, quick to return. And there are others who come for a year or two and stay for a lifetime, sensing that they've found a city that is in the world, yet sufficiently on the edge of it to have a different resonance.
Let me tell you something about this city. All of us, we're all just passing through, and we've all been here forever.
Those who came, those who stayed, those who never returned. Tides turn, seasons change, we've waited and we've watched. But we've always been here. We've always listened, because there is a different resonance here. It comes from the river, and the land, and the sky.
It's our place, all of us.
This city belongs to everyone.
Listen, we are Freetown.
The golden rules of Freetown.
Don't pretend you're something that you're not.
Don't go thinking you're better than anyone else.
Or that anyone else is better than you.
Don't shout about it. Get on with it.
We are Freetown.
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 Yeah.
We found our voice again.
I'm from India and Freetown.
I'm from China and Freetown.
I'm from the UK and Freetown.
I am from Nigeria and Freetown.
I am from home and Freetown. This city belongs to everyone.
The fishermen,
The taxi driver,
The barber,
the drummers, the dancers.
All of us.
All of us. Everybody. We are Freetown.
The past is ours.
the future is ours. It's our time again.
and this city belongs to everyone.
The playwright,
The greengrocer,
The teacher,
the
now we own.
the roads are ours.
The bridges, now we own.
We are Freetown.
We are all visitors and we've all been here forever.
We've got the mightiest river.
And the biggest sky.
And there's a resonance again.
Freetown. Freetown.
We are proud of this place.
We love this city.
And we want you to love it too.
We are proud of this place.
Na pass we all they pass like stranger them, but we all don't dare from them.
Hello and welcome to Bottom Line, your weekly enlightenment and good governance campaign talk show. In tonight's edition, what used to be years and months is only now days. The public elections scheduled for June 24th this year. The pointers are clear. Parliament has been dissolved. Intra-party recommendations and nominations for parliamentary seats are ongoing, and mayoral nominations have been made in some areas. Just yesterday, the Opposition All People's Congress, APC, nominated its 2018 presidential candidate, Dr. Samora Matthew Wilson Kamara, as candidate for the June 24th presidential elections. Today, President Julius Maada Bio was nominated for re-election. It is a rematch of the 2018 presidential elections. But how did the nomination proceedings go? With me in the studios, Mohamed Toure, Director of Operations at the ECSL, that's the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone. We also have the Publicity Secretary of the All People's Congress, Sidi Yaya Tunis. I'll be joining the studios later by the Honorable Minister of Information and Communications, Mohamed Rahman Sare, who, for the purposes of this program, will be deemed the Public Relations Chairman, Public Relations Committee Chairman of the SLPP. Welcome to Bottom Line, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening.
Yes, you too can also have your say on this show by joining us. On our Facebook page at Slbc Tv, channel 31, or by SMS to the number you find on your screen, 030-022-639, 030-022-639. My name is Joseph Ebinda Kapua. Is Bottom Line, and we are joined in the studios, like I said, by the Publicity Secretary of the All People's Congress, Mohamed Toure. And we're also joined in the studios now by the chairman of the Public Relations Committee of the Sierra Leone People's Party, Mohamed Rahman Soare, who doubles as the Minister of Information and Communications. Now let's get started. The ECSL nominations are ongoing. I mean, yesterday it was for the presidential elections. We saw the presidential candidates, well, if you like, at the time then, the flag bearer of the All People's Congress, Dr. Matthew Samora Kamara, and today it was the president, who is also the flag. How many more are we expecting, if at all?
For the nomination, you know, we have various categories of nomination because we have various elections. We started nomination with the local council elections, which started from the 17th of April to the 28th and was extended by a day to 29th of April. So basically, we have concluded nomination for local council elections, including councillors and mayors and chairpersons. And we have commenced nomination for president and parliamentary candidates. And as you mentioned in your introduction, we have received nomination for the two, the governing party SFP and the main opposition APC party. We have received nomination for their presidential candidates. Nominations are also ongoing at district levels for parliamentary candidates. So far, only independent candidates have gone through nomination for parliamentary elections in various districts. We are still awaiting nomination for various political parties. This is going to last until the 9th of May. That's the deadline for nomination, and we are urging political parties to make haste and use the platform so that we will have cause to have another extension, which we really don't have time for.
How is the process like? Take us through the process of nominating candidates.
Yeah, the process of nomination this time around is a little bit different, as we have known before. Before now, it has largely been paper-based. This time around, the Commission has introduced the use of a web platform, wherein the political parties they are trained in the use of this platform in the first place. The process starts with the submitting a list of endorsed candidates as required by law. The law requires that list of endorsed candidates should be submitted by political parties. So you go to the platform, they sign up with the platform, and then they submit list of endorsed candidates. Once that's done, they are also required to nominate these candidates online. In other words, by nomination, you insert the name of the candidate as well as the 3 nominators of each of the candidates. So once that's concluded, then nomination online is done. But in addition, we also expect political parties to print out the list of endorsed candidates and then sign by the party leader and National Secretary General as required by law. In the event the party does not have a party leader, then that endorsed candidates list should be signed by the chairman and the National Secretary General. That a copy of that signed document should be sent to the Commission headquarters, the CSF headquarters, and we are really asking the political parties to do that. And when you go to the nomination venue, then you will have there are 3 steps. The first step is the reception officer. The reception officer basically looks at the documents presented by the candidate and ensuring that all of the required documents have been submitted. And then the next step is the scrutiny officer. The scrutiny officer's responsibility is to validate the documents submitted to see that they are authentic. The scrutiny officer also requests for the nomination fee, and then once you pay the nomination fee, you submit evidence of payment. The receipt is also issued, and then the last step is the step of the returning officer. If at this level, then you have the district returning officer. If it comes to presidential election, you have the national returning officer who doubles as the chief electoral commissioner. So at that stage, the returning officer goes through again all the documents submitted, ensuring again that they are true and correct. And once that is certified, then the returning officer can proceed with provisionally nominating the candidates.
All right, we will come to probably possible challenges or difficulties this process may have. Perhaps when we talk about online nominations and the like. But then if it were to be actually done online, why the need, for example, for presidential also have the candidates themselves, physically present at the headquarters for nomination? Why is that the case?
The law requires that the nomination papers are to be submitted in person, and therefore we have to adhere to...
Must they be submitted by the candidates themselves, the aspirants themselves?
In fact, the law basically states that the candidates and one of his nominators should submit nomination form, for nomination. So it basically implies that the candidates or nominators should be present in person.
So what's the relevance of the online if that were to be done, in person?
Well, the relevance of the online is, one, it's really speeds up the process. It's also fast track the issue of ballot design. Now, imagine, for instance, say in Western Urban, for the councillors, there are 40 seats, and which means since there are 40 seats, each political party is required to submit twice the number of seats available. So political parties should submit 80 candidates. So imagine if the political parties were required to fill 80 forms for councillors alone. So you imagine the huge chunk of paperwork that's required. Now you multiply that by the number of political parties that might want to contest in Western Urban, for instance. So even for us as the CSL, we will be required to deal with thousands of forms. And also in addition, that also means that if we are going with the paperwork very manual, it means after nomination, these forms should be inputted into the system and then artwork generated. But now the beauty of the online platform is that all of these have been dealt with online. All of the candidates' information have been are in the system, and all what the commission will do is to generate from that. And similarly for the political parties need not type all of the endorsed lists or print out all of the nomination forms. All what it needs to do is to input the system, and the district returning officer can see the nominated candidates from his own point of view and then approve on the system. So it becomes easy and smooth flow for all participating.
Is there room for any corrections once the nominations have been done online, assuming CD, for example, is spelled S-I-D-Y instead of S-I-D-I? I mean, just so...
There are rooms, and we've been getting such issues severally.
Talk to me about the challenges that you face during this process of nomination.
Yes, surely there have been challenges, but I must say that the challenges have really come from the part of the political parties using the platform. It boils down to one, for instance, the fact that some political parties have challenged in getting the required number of candidates per council or per election. Say, like the example I mentioned, Western Urban required 80 candidates as per law. Some political parties are challenging that. And another challenge was that some political parties had difficulty in adhering to the gender quota. Remember, we said the law required that for every 3 candidates, one of them must be a woman. And the system has been designed in such a way that it forces you to abide by that requirement. So if you enter 2 names, the third must be a woman. If you don't enter a woman, the system will not allow you to proceed. Also, the law requires that, for instance, you have to be nominators should register within the electoral areas in which they are nominating the respective candidate. So if you have a situation wherein you input the voter ID number of a nominator, and that nominator does not reside within the electoral area in which the election is going to take place, the system will flag it up and will not allow you to proceed. So because of these checks and balances, some of the political parties try to bypass the system, and they got stopped because definitely the system is foolproof. And once you enter voter ID number into the platform for a candidate, for instance, the system checks all of the criteria for that election. For instance, age. The system checks that you meet the age requirement. It also checks the eligibility requirement in terms of residence. You should know that for council elections, you cannot vie for a mayor in Western Urban, for instance, if you register in Western Rural District. Okay, so once you enter the voter ID number of the candidate, the system checks whether that candidate is registered in Western Urban. If not, the system will not allow you to proceed. So all of these checks are in line with the law.
Do you, as a commission, apart from these challenges probably faced by the political parties themselves, on your part as a commission, I mean during this phase, are there any challenges that you are also grappling with?
Well, the challenges are the ones that are being related to the political parties, because when they face challenges, they come back to us and we assist them in resolving these challenges.
All right, let me cross over to Mr. Tunis. I mean, yesterday, Dr. Kamara, the flag, yeah. By the way, ECS, by these nominations now, do we now call them candidates or are they still aspirants?
No, they are now provisionally nominated candidates.
All right,
so you can call them candidates.
Dr. Kamara was nominated yesterday as the flag bearer. I mean, he's gone through that process, even if temporary, we are told. You know, so how do you feel as a party, you know, having gone through that phase, the presidential and vice presidential candidates going through the nomination process?
Thank you very much. Yesterday was, for us, really fulfilling in the sense that we were able to go through at least the requirements set out by law and also set out by NEC as per the provisions of the Electoral Acts of Sierra Leone for candidates to go through nominations, to verify their qualifications, their eligibility, and you know, other requirements that are stated by law. You know, and we are happy that Dr. Samara Kamara at least went through those processes, and he has been verified and approved provisionally by the Electoral Commission Sierra Leone as the presidential candidate for the All People's Congress party for the upcoming June 24, 2023 presidential elections. I mean, I say we are fulfilled because, you know, I mean, there were several, you know, rumors and controversies around his candidature, several